There's a military base in the Nevada desert that the American government spent 50 years pretending did not exist. Not a rumor, not a conspiracy theory, a real facility visible from surrounding mountain peaks, photographed by commercial satellites, employing thousands of workers who sign legal agreements so comprehensive they cannot tell their own families where they go to work each day. The workers are flown in on unmarked aircraft from a private terminal at Las Vegas Airport. The terminal is secured separately from everything else. The bus windows are blacked out. The flights do not appear on any public database. And for 50 years, whenever anyone asked, the answer was the same. It does not exist. But here's what nobody tells you about Area 51. The cover story was not alien spacecraft. The alien spacecraft story was the cover story, and the American government let it spread, deliberately, because what was actually happening in that desert was something they could never allow the public to understand. And when you find out what it was, and more importantly, why they chose aliens as the explanation, you will never look at government information the same way again. The year is 1954. The United States has a problem that its most senior officials describe in classified memos as potentially existential. The Soviet Union has nuclear weapons. American intelligence does not know where those weapons are, does not know how many there are, does not know where Soviet forces are positioned or what Soviet military production looks like. Strategic planning is happening in complete darkness. The solution authorized by President Eisenhower is a program so secret that almost everyone involved with it will take it to their grave. An aircraft that can fly higher than anything the Soviets can shoot down, high enough to photograph their entire military infrastructure, high enough to see everything. The aircraft is called the U-2, and the facility built to develop and test it is a dry lake bed in a remote stretch of Nevada desert designated on government maps as Area 51. The first test flights begin in 1955, and almost immediately something unexpected happens. Civilians start reporting unidentified objects in the sky above Nevada. Bright lights moving at impossible speeds, objects maneuvering in ways that no known aircraft can maneuver, objects flying at altitudes that are publicly understood to be unreachable. The reports flood into Air Force bases. They get logged, they get filed, and then CIA analysts do something that changes the course of American cultural history. They compare the UFO report locations and dates against the U-2 test flight schedules. The correlation is almost perfect. The civilians are seeing the U-2, and the CIA knows this. What happens next is the part that should stop you cold. They do nothing to correct it. Not an accident, not an oversight, a decision, because a public that believes it is seeing alien spacecraft is a public that is not asking the right questions about classified military programs. The alien explanation is operationally convenient, and so it is allowed to stand. CIA documents Declassified in 2013 confirmed this explicitly. Analysts tracked the reports, understood the connection, and the documents show no effort anywhere to correct the public record. None. While this is happening, the program is expanding in ways the public cannot imagine. The U-2 begins overflying Soviet territory in 1956. Direct violations of Soviet sovereignty. Hundreds of flights, photographing nuclear facilities, missile programs, military installations. Intelligence that transforms American strategic planning during the most dangerous years of the Cold War. The Soviets tracked the aircraft on radar. They file diplomatic protests. The American government denies everything, categorically, while senior officials, pilots, engineers, and analysts, all bound by agreements that make disclosure a federal crime, maintain the lie in complete silence. And then on May 1st, 1960, everything breaks. A U-2 piloted by Francis Gary Powers is shot down over Soviet territory. Powers survives. He is captured, and Nikita Khrushchev stands before the world and produces the evidence. The wreckage, the pilot, the camera film, the American cover story, carefully prepared in advance, collapses within days. A summit between Eisenhower and Khrushchev is destroyed. Superpower relations deteriorate at one of the most dangerous moments of the Cold War. All of it a direct consequence of the same strategy that had been applied from the beginning. Systematic denial, right up to the moment it became impossible to deny. But here is what the Powers shootdown did not change. The programs continued, the deception continued, and at Area 51, something new was already being built. The A-12 Oxcart, faster than anything that had ever flown. Mach 3, altitudes above 80,000 feet. Performance characteristics so far beyond public understanding that when test pilots pushed it across the Nevada sky, civilians on the ground below had no framework for what they were seeing. Not a plane, not anything they had a word for. The UFO reports intensified, and the government's response remained exactly what it had always been. Neither confirm nor deny. Let the alternative explanation breathe. Let it grow. The Roswell incident of 1947 followed the same template. An incident that predated Area 51, but that established the pattern. A classified balloon project called Mogul, designed to monitor Soviet nuclear tests, came down near Roswell, New Mexico. The military's information management around the incident allowed an extraterrestrial explanation to fill the vacuum. Subsequent investigations confirmed the balloon. The cultural memory of alien spacecraft was already permanent. The government had not created the extraterrestrial belief intentionally at Roswell, but they had learned something from watching it develop. A misunderstanding, properly left alone, can be more useful than a correction. That lesson shaped everything that followed in the Nevada desert for the next 5 decades. And here's the specific irony that declassified CIA records document in black and white. Senior officials who had made the decisions that created the conditions for widespread UFO belief were genuinely frustrated by UFO conspiracy theories, exasperated by them. Records show them dismissing the theories as irrational, as a distraction, as an embarrassing cultural phenomenon. The same officials whose deliberate information management choices had done more than anything else to create and sustain those theories. They manufactured the belief, and then complained about the believers. Area 51 was officially acknowledged by the CIA in 2013. The documents confirmed the location. Confirmed the U-2 and A-12 programs. Confirmed the connection between classified flights and UFO reports. And stopped there. Significant operational records remain classified. The base continues to operate today. Workers continue to arrive on unmarked flights from the blacked-out terminal. The restricted airspace above the facility extends higher than the airspace above the White House. The security measures around the perimeter go significantly beyond what would be needed to protect a conventional military installation. Something is still happening there. The American government still has no public comment on what it is. And somewhere in the distance between what they are willing to say and what is actually occurring in that desert, the same strategy that turned classified aircraft into alien spacecraft is still running, still managing what you are allowed to believe, still deciding which explanation is more convenient than the truth. The base is still there, the flights are still unmarked, and the thing they do not want you to understand about Area 51 has never been the aircraft. It has always been the method. If the documented gap between what governments tell you and what they have actually decided you are allowed to know is what you came here for, subscribe, because the next program we examine has already been partially declassified, and what the release portion reveals about how the method works is more precise and more disturbing than anything we have shown you yet.